What's up guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon coverage video, and today we are going to be talking about the Bagpacker, the guy from X and Y that gives you the Strange Souvenir. Obviously we know him for that reason, the Strange Souvenir guy, whatever. He gives you the Strange Souvenir after you talk to him enough times, and there's obviously the line that goes along with it saying that he comes from a region that isn't Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, or obviously Kalos. So hence, that's sort of the main two things we hear about him. He says that line, and we have the Strange Souvenir. But he actually says a few other things as well, because you obviously have to talk to him 4 days in a row, I believe, leading up to getting the Strange Souvenir. So on the 3 days beforehand, he does say other things. First one of these is, he says, "We have this town that you wouldn't believe," and then he ends it with, never mind, you'll see it in due time. So, we have a town that you wouldn't believe. He then says, "Our champion is really something else, I tell you." And then, again, same sort of line there. And then finally he says, "There's this facility that you wouldn't believe." Now obviously all of these are very vague comments, because of course most likely at this time, when X and Y were being developed, this stuff was probably added very late in development, but still, Sun and Moon was a long way off, so there's not like they might have had ideas, they might have thought, oh yeah, we'll do this really interesting thing with the next generation, and we can put hints in here. But they might not, it's not like they've said, oh yes, we're going to have, this is the whole Alola region, this town, we'll mention this town in X and Y sort of thing. So they're very vague statements. But town that you wouldn't believe could apply to many, not many, but several Alola towns, possibly the one that's floating on water, the one that is walled off behind the walled city, because obviously that would then work in line with some people speculating that it's going to be the Kingdom of Azoth, because that is a very interesting kingdom, at least in the film, because obviously you have all the mechanical gears and the walls and such. So town, city, maybe similar, it might make sense there. Champion again is really a vague statement. We don't know too much here. Champion is really something else. Of course, when the games fully come out, we might be able to see what this means. It might be like a kid champion, or same sort of trainer as you, and the champion might be really something else. They might be very wacky. They could be, it might be their personality they're talking about. Could be them as a personality sort of thing. Same thing there. You guys get the idea though. It's a very vague thing. We can't really pull anything from it. But the last one, talking about a facility that we wouldn't believe, is something we can take a bit more closer look at, because obviously we have the map of Alola, or an image of the Alola region now, so we can look at, see what things might this facility be. First up there is this bluish building on the second, or I'm calling it the second island, just down further from the volcano. This could be a facility as such. Previously in the Pokemon franchises, we've had, for example, in the Battle Frontier, there have been several facilities, like the Battle Tower, the Battle Pike, and stuff like that. So that's where facility was used before, but of course facility could be used for any sort of thing that's not a town, if you guys get what I mean there. So this facility, this blue building could be a facility, or it could be a contest tool, which could class as a facility, or it could be, anything else. We don't really know what this is quite now, but it could be a possibility for what he's talking about. Then there's this other facility just to the south, which looks like a casino in my eyes, but he could be talking about this. Again, it's a facility of sorts. Even if it is a casino, it might not be a battle facility, it could be the battle casino. That would be really quite interesting way to do it, but at the moment, again, we don't know. And then obviously there are facilities he could be talking about. For example, the observatory we've seen on top of the mountain on the largest island in Alola, could be a facility, because obviously observatories aren't really something we see in Pokemon games too much. We had the Moss Deep Space Center, but apart from that, not many big sort of observatories apart from that. And then we also have the power plant-ish area that we think is a power plant at least. Again, it could be some sort of facility, and this facility is most likely geothermal, because we have volcanoes and such in Alola. So that might be what he's talking about, saying you wouldn't believe it. Of course, he could be talking about the artificial island, which could have a facility on it itself. We don't know much about the island right now. The whole building in the centre could be some sort of battle frontier, battle island, which could be just loads of different battle facilities inside there, or it could be something else, and the castle-like house behind it could be the battle facility here, a post-game battle maison sort of thing. But there's not really much we can talk about here, but I figured it was worth a mention just to get some conversation going, because obviously there's a few comments that we don't really look at and think about for the Bagpacker ever, because we focus more on the Strange Souvenir, what that means, and the fact that it's a different region entirely. Now that we know the region and we pretty much know what the Strange Souvenir is about, we can actually look more into the other stuff he says. Let me know what you think of this down below. I know it's not a hugely amazing video, but hopefully you guys enjoy it nonetheless. Let me know down below what you think. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.